Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Mini Metro. Let's look, let's try, and a couple of strategies and tactics. So Mini Metro snuck onto my radar the other day, and it intrigued me. It looks simplistic. It's essentially you are building up a subway network for various cities, and we're trying to manage the traffic and the population here, getting people from point A to point B. The graphics are simplistic, to say the least, but they do what they need to do. And it actually, I like the style of it because it looks like a subway metro map rather than a literal subway. So you kind of understand what's going on and what things are doing. So yeah, let's dive in, shall we? All right, so each of the, there are different scenarios, each representing a different real-life city. You don't actually see, like, the city. They're just shapes. But, you know what? That's all this game needs. It's very zen, very, very simplistic, and yet complex in how it plays out towards the latter half of the scenarios here. It gets pretty complex and pretty hairy pretty quickly. So don't mistake this as this being some easy kiddie game. So, but each of the cities has different quirks to them, different aspects that kind of modify the core gameplay. But London is the vanilla starter one. It's not specifically easy, but it has everything operating at normal levels. So let's dive in, and I'll explain as we go here and start to go into strategies. So here we have a river. We have let me pause here real quick. Oops. I guess I have to draw a line first. All right, fine. All right. So the way this game works is there are, at least at the beginning, 3 different types of buildings. You got your circles, or 3 different types of stations, I should say. So you got your circles, your triangles, and your squares here. Now, the game never explicitly labels this as such, but the way I've seen the frequency and distribution of these different shapes, the circles kind of represent residential zones. They tend to appear quite frequently and on the outskirts. The triangles are kind of like your industrial, your work places, and then the squares are like your shopping districts, the city centers. They're much less frequent, and they tend to gather towards the center of the map. But the frequency and how they appear is kind of random. So let's start things up. All right, so we just had a new station, and this is how the game goes. The stations will see each of these different shapes. There's 2 people waiting here, 3 people now. The squares want to go to a square station. The triangles want to get dropped off at a triangle. Simple as that. This triangle station needs to be serviced, so we're going to extend the line up here. So now we got a circle here. This circle is going to go all the way around until it gets dropped off there. And or until we get this circle over here. So we're going to extend the line over here. Now, it's not just playing connect the dots, because eventually this line's going to overwhelm the ability for this one train to do it. Now, you can add more trains. We have 2 more trains we can add. But you can also start brand new lines that go in completely different directions. They can overlap the stations, but depending on where the next... there. So we got a triangle station down here. The nice thing is, and this is kind of counter to real life, is you can redraw or completely dig up and reroute your stuff as things go along here. So we're starting to get a little build up here, and build up is actually something you want to avoid. The main reason behind that is if a station gets overcrowded, it starts a little circle timer. If that circle timer reaches full, game over. A station has hit way more capacity, and the people are all angry, and you lose. But basically, your score is how many people you've transported before that happens. This game is one of those that you can't win per se. You can only just do better. But it's still fun because you can try different strategies and whatnot. It's taking a little while longer for the next station to appear. Aha! Boom! There we go. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit. Now you can see a little bit more of the patterns going on here. We haven't had any more squares going on here. And these things are starting to fill up pretty quickly, so I'm going to have to start doing aha. Now the thing is, like, as the weeks go by, more and more stations will appear, and the stations will generate passengers at a faster and faster rate. To help you keep up, every week that you survive, you get a new locomotive and a choice of 2 different things to add to it. I'm going to go for a new line. Right now we only have 3 lines possible. We're using 1. The other 2 are dormant, so we could use them. But if we had another line, we'll have 4 at our disposal. And as these things grow bigger and bigger, we're going to want to make use of that. So I'm going to take the new line here. And now that we're in the next week, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sort of change things up a little bit. This right here, this line's getting too long, so these areas are not being too well serviced. So we're going to retract the yellow line. Oops. You retract the yellow line here, and then just have it dedicated servicing these areas here. And then we're going to start a new line here. The red line. And actually, we can make it a little loop for now. We're probably going to extend that a little bit, but so now we have 2 trains in operation: the red train and the yellow train. And we can add additional lines. So you can have up to 4 locomotives per line. But yeah, and then both of these can drop passengers off and pick passengers up here at the square. And since there's only 1 square at the moment, 1 city center, that's fine, because that way they can both service it. There is no actual limit to how long you can make a line. Aha! Now here comes a little bit of strategy here. Now I could easily just grab the red line and pull it over here, and actually I might end up doing that anyway. But what you want to do is you want to diversify what types of stations are in a row. Like, you don't want circle, circle, and then triangle. Here, I did this for this reason. Triangle, circle, triangle, circle. That way, if there are circles, they're 1 stop away. And if they're triangles, 1 stop away. So it lets your routes be a little bit more efficient. Now, for squares, they have no choice but to take it all the way back over here. But at the very least, the circles and the squares, wow, they're starting early. So, it's all fun, and it's all well and good and simple with circles and squares and triangles, and then they start adding other shapes. These shapes are unique. You're only going to get 1 star station, but somewhere in the system, like someone right here, could queue up and say, I want to go to the star station. Well, they're going to have to get brought all the way over here, dropped off, and then picked up by the red line and dropped over here. And that can be cumbersome as your metro system grows. But you have to deal with them. You don't decide what types of stations appear and where they appear. This is not, that is not your jurisdiction. You just have to deal with how the city grows, and the city grows randomly. So if I were to play London all over again, we'd get the same map, like the same river shape here, but the placement of the zones here and their growth would be different. All right, now the yellow line here. Also, you have a limited number of bridges, so how many times you cross the river is finite. Now you get your bridge back if you pull a line back here. Yes, all right, I can skirt the river and then go up here. And again, circle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Now it is extending the yellow line a bit, but I think it can handle it. So far, no stars have appeared yet, but they'll be coming. The game gives you a little bit of a grace period before people start demanding to go to the... So, we got a new station here, but the end of this one is also a circle. If I were to draw this right to here, probably might be a little messy. So, I think what I might do, just to help myself out here, and also help people get to that star station, is I'm going to draw a new line. Or do I want the red line? I could have the red line go down there. Yeah, I could do the red line. Alright, we'll draw out the red line. Give it a little bit longer. Again, you have a limited number of lines, so making the most out of the lines you do have is definitely a good thing. And we still have 2 locomotives in reserve, but I want to keep them in reserve until we start seeing routes really, really needing them. Right now, our trains are keeping up with everybody, so we're doing all right. Aha! We got our first stars appearing here. I'm getting a lot of stars appearing here. All right, week 3, we got a new locomotive, and do we want another line or tunnels? We only have 1 tunnel left. We're gonna restock so we have 3 tunnels now. Yeah, you run out of tunnels, you can't cross the river again, so you have to be mindful of that. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem with these freaking circles, these residential zones, is they are so much more common than everything else, and it just becomes a mess. I don't like stacking these up like this, and if I were to drag this and loop it around like that, so I'm actually going to start a new line. It's okay if you have those on new lines, but yeah. Of course, this guy's going to have to drop the triangles off at the star station. Uh-oh. We're starting to get... Aha! Good, a triangle. All right, we're in an end game countdown here, but luckily our tram came here in time to relieve the station. And it counts back down, and then it goes back to normal. All right, actually, you know what? Here's what we got to do. Yeah, here's what we got to do. Red's getting a bit too long. So we're going to have red go on here. We're going to take blue out for a second. No, we don't want that. Yeah, we're not going to have much of a choice but to have 2 circles in a row. 2 circles in a row is not the end of the world. And then we'll take it down to the triangle, and then we'll take the circle back. It's still a far cry from that 1 square, so any squares that appear on this line are going to have to take the red line down there. And that's going to put some extra strain on the red line. But I think it's the best course of action here. And that also shortens the red line so they can service their stations a little bit more frequently. All right. Yeah, yellow is also... I'm not going to extend yellow out unless I give it more... Oh, finally! Oh, how nice of you. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to extend the blue line out to that, because blue really, really wants closer access to a square station. Red's already got real close access to squares, so we don't need to necessarily run it down here or have the red hook it up here. Ugh. Another circle. That would be 3 circles in a row. I don't like it. But you can't ignore it. People will build up there, and if you just ignore it completely... Uh-oh. Alright, well, they're close by. Yes, I know you want to be serviced. Fine. At the very least, we break it up with the star. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on! Across the river and another circle. Fraza. Alright, we're doing another line. As you can see, things get pretty hectic pretty quickly here. Alright, fine. You know what? We're going to do another line. We're going to burn a bridge and connect it up to the triangle. Because if we were just to wrap this down here, this blue line would just be... Ugh. We'd need extra carriages. Might change my mind later with it, but then that would involve having 2 bridges. We don't want that. As I said, they'll be the death of me. There, take it. I could really use a city center like over here. That would be awesome. Or maybe a few more triangles to mix things up. Freaking residential. Stop breeding, people. I wonder if that might be a more effective... Because that way we can get rid of some of the triangles that get built up here. Because I noticed that one was fairly full of triangles and couldn't pick too many people up off this circle. Again. Alright, you know what? Screw you. And then you go here. There. And another unique shape. Nope, no more lines. Yeah, we can drag the red line out a little bit. Have them service that. Oh, thank goodness. You're both freaking getting this. Alright, who's yelling at me? Down here. Yellow's gonna need some help. Yeah, yellow's getting a little over capacity. Alright, you know what? I'll take that. Uh-oh, blue's getting a little over capacity. Thankfully, Sunday's right around the corner. And to Sunday, I'll get another, some more bonuses to help handle some of this load. An interchange or a carriage? I need a carriage. Carriage is just what it says. It adds more capacity. You should be able to get there in time. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I see what's going on here. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, we gotta clip the, you know what? Let's redraw this. Best way to do this while mixing it up. Yeah, we need the red to extend to the star. You know, we're gonna have them get on at the red station and not actually. Do I wanna? Yeah, I do wanna kind of service the. No, that's kind of redundant. So we're gonna actually bypass the star station. We're gonna do a bunch of circles in a row, which makes me kind of nauseous. We just need better access to the frickin' square. Do I want to touch the star? Well, let's try it without the star station and see if it blows up in our faces. And I do have another. Did you just drop a whole bunch of squares off at that station up there? Oh, crap. I think that station's gonna kill me. Yeah, that change of route did not do me any favors. You know what? Here. Save us, green tram. Somebody. I don't know if he's gonna get there in time. Oh, thank goodness. That is exactly what we needed. Come on, green tram. Oh, you're not going to pick too many people up, are you? Come on, blue tram. Get it. Ah, crap. Dang it. And I'm dead. And not even that good of a score. I clearly have a lot more to learn from this game. But we'll try again in a different city. Maybe we'll have better luck next time. So if you like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya.